Hi dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, how are you? This is Dr. Harnet, your Africa Business Trainer online and offline, and I'm very excited to be back. I mean, we have been training with hundreds of you in our Zoom training a couple of weeks ago. If you've missed the training, oh my God, there was so much engagement and so many insights, so make sure you're going to catch up with it. But it has been a while since I recorded my last video, partly also because of the lockdown, and I actually had put a video together where you can hear my voice, but there was no outside recording, and it's the video I want to show you now because I think it is very relevant and it's still a good video. So right now I'm just shooting the introduction and letting you know that look, life can be very simple but also very beautiful, and I for one, I'm so grateful during this lockdown that we're just healthy, safe, and I'm lucky to enjoy this nature. This is right in my neighborhood, by the way. We have wonderful cherry trees. Actually, let me show you. We have so many of these cherry trees, not only in these fields here, but also in the forest further down. There are so many wild cherries. And since my video is about the food supply chain in Africa, let me show you the cherries. I mean, people are literally hanging in the trees, not right now because it's a Tuesday morning, but during the weekends and in the evenings, people are picking the cherries, including me and my children. We've been eating a lot of cherries. Let me show you. And I'm going to try to zoom in. Look at these juicy, yummy cherries. Are they not amazing? We've been eating so many cherries and I love picking them from the wild, They taste so much better as compared to having them from the supermarkets. So this was just a short hello, and I hope that you're safe and well and healthy wherever in the world you are. And yeah, let's dive into the video.
What have you learned during the COVID-19 lockdown? I think for the most part it is a question that each one of us would answer differently. Maybe you have used the time for self-care to learn a new skill, or you have even vowed that you will change your life altogether. But there's something else we have learned, and that is, even during a global pandemic, when great parts of our life and the world seem to stand still, there is one business sector that continues to produce, trade, and sell: the food industry. We all have to eat and drink every single day, or we cease to exist. Now here's a powerful insight I want to share with you today in the context of Africa. According to various sources, both the fast-moving consumer goods sector and the agricultural sector will become the two fastest growing sectors on the continent of Africa for decades to come. Both of them are serving the food industry. According to Strive Masiyiva, one of Africa's greatest business leaders, food production in Africa will be the next multi-billion-dollar industry on the continent, and he urges everyone, in particular the youth, to get started in this area. Now, how does food production serve Africa? Well, it does so in three major ways, and I want you to be aware of them. Number one, it feeds the continent in direct terms, of course, because Africa's fast-growing population has to eat every single day. Number two, food production and related processing will create millions of jobs in Africa, increase spending power on household level, and boost the local economy. But there is a third huge benefit to food production on the continent, and that is the ability to trade across borders, both on the continent with intra-African trade, but also through overseas exports. And here's why exports, and especially the right kind of exports, are so important to Africa. Let me explain. You see, at the moment, Africa is importing much more than it exports. So let's say an African country imports goods worth $500 million, but it exports goods for which it gets only $200 million. This means in simple terms that there's a shortage of $300 million in foreign currency. It is of course a simplified calculation, but here's the point. If Africa does not increase its exports, it will continue to suffer a major trade deficit, not earning enough hard currency in the global market in order to do business, invest, or import vital items it does not yet have. This worsens Africa's dependency. Now here's the current scenario when it comes to food. Number one, well, Africa does not produce enough yet to meet growing demand. That's the bottom line. And whatever farmers and herders do produce often rots away because of lack of adequate storage and transport facilities. Number two, let's say Africa sells a whole pineapple as it is for 50 cents. Although by simply cutting the entire fruit into bite-sized pieces for a snack or processing it into a dried fruit product would allow Africa to earn $2 per fruit, so 4 times as much. And number three, now here's the real tragedy. Africa exports its pineapple unprocessed at 50 cents, but then imports the pineapple juice from France, the Netherlands, or the UK at 2 times, 3 times the price in a container, its own pineapple. Hence, Africa is losing out across the value chain. Now, in part 2 of this video, I will show you 4 amazing business ideas in Africa's food industry. I will share 2 ideas that are perfect for those of you based on the continent and 2 business models for those of you in the diaspora. All 4 of these business models are hugely profitable, of enormous socio-economic benefit to Africa, not at risk of closure during a pandemic, and 3 ideas are highly flexible, allowing for a passive income stream over time. Sounds like a good deal for you in Africa? Great! So I'll see you in part 2 of this video.